Hi again, and welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live. This is the edition for Wednesday. It's Wednesday already. We've reached the middle of the week. In fact, we are now one full week into the month of February.
Mm-hmm.
Where does time go?
Well, does it seem like the middle of the week for you? Because you haven't been on the Daily Show for the past 2 days.
But my days have been running together, and I'm surprised that I remembered it was Wednesday without looking at the chart. So,
I had a thought yesterday. You and Mike won't have a show together this week.
You're right. That is right. I didn't think much about that.
It's weird.
So, in fact, you and I will be doing the Game of the Week preview show, and we haven't even talked to the coaches yet for that show. I may have to try and do one from home later today.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know. This is what happens when basketball season comes around. And it was like this during our radio days. It got to the point where you didn't know where you were at what point in time. You had to double check every day, look at that calendar to make sure. And I know that there are people who have kids that play ball, and they're going through the same thing. It's like, oh, what do you mean we got a game this Thursday? Oh, that's a make-up from the snowed out game? So you have to try and get your calendars together as best you can. And I know Missy was telling me Sunday after I got home from church, she says, you're not going to be home any of this week. Mm-hmm. Can you give me one day? One day? So it's a juggling fest. That's what we're trying to do. So you're right. I did not think about not seeing Mike Smith, but last night, he even had to sit in the back of the truck.
Did he throw a fit?
He did not until, Tom Beard said it would be quicker to go 138 and come in the back way to Frankfurt.
Right.
And I said, okay, I'm used to going through town to pick Mike up. And he says, let's do that. Well, Mike gets into the truck, and I said, okay, here we are. We're glad we made it. And what took you so long? And all this kind of stuff, it was the attitude. He didn't say those words, but it was the attitude. And so I was like, well, we came in and said, what'd you come that way for? That's the long way around. And he forgot he was a backseat driver.
Right. Mike, we love you.
We do. And next time I'll get out of the driver's seat and turn the keys over to you and let you go where we need to go. So, anyway, that's how it goes. And then last night I went to get a hot dog for my pregame meal.
Of course.
I go down this is at Washington High School. I walk all the way down to the concession stand. I'm standing there. I place my order for a hot dog. I say, I'll take a Dr. Pepper, I'll take a hot dog, and a Hershey bar with almonds. I got the Hershey bar with almonds. He reaches in and he goes, the Dr. Pepper's not real cold. I said, that's fine. I'll take it. I'll take it anyway. And then he comes back. The hot dogs, they just put on the grill. It's a roller. Can you wait? I said, yeah, I can wait. I waited probably 10 minutes. I know Mike and Tom had to be wondering where I was.
Right.
Because we were getting close to broadcast time. And so it was a running gag because people would walk up and they would say, are you in line? No, I'm just waiting on my hot dog. That's all. And then they brought the hot dog to me and they said, well, here's your hot dog. It's going to be the special hot dog. I said, it better be. I've been waiting on this thing. No, I didn't say that. It was kind of in the back of my mind. Didn't say that. But we got the hot dog and there were no grill marks on it and it wasn't real hot. I think
it was just a dog.
The Dr. Pepper was warmer than the dog was. So we made it through okay. We'll just go that way and say thank you. I know it's difficult sometimes, and it looked like they had volunteers that were working the concessions, and it looked like they were doing it for the first time.
Yeah.
So you give them the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
It was edible. I enjoyed it, and we had a good time. So, all right. All that to get to this area. It's time to look at our forecast to see how things are plotting out for the day. Looking at more sunshine today, temperatures around 52. We'll have a high near 60 tomorrow.
That's pretty good.
We'll have some cloud cover, though. There is a chance of rain coming Friday night as well as Saturday. Cooler weather begins Sunday, but this has been a fantastic week. And the biggest battle I've had has been keeping my eyes from being blinded by that sunball we hadn't seen for several days. And now it's something we've been dealing with the last few days. But I'm not complaining. You kidding? Being able to walk from one place to another in shirt sleeves in February, I like that.
I do like that.
All right. Coming up in just a moment, we'll take a look at what's making news for us today, as well as sports. And this date in history takes us back to a guy by the name of Ben Franklin.
Who?
Benjamin Franklin. Do you remember who he was?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just messing with you.
I thought as much.
He's my favorite president.
Is that because of the $100 bill?
Yeah. They only put presidents on those things.
Yeah, you know he's not a president, right?
I know.
Okay. To say, Mark Smith was your history professor in
yes,
college,
he was.
Right? Okay. Coming up, we'll take a look at all that for you. But first, I want to tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. If you've got a cleanup job that needs to be done, if you've got demo work that needs to be done, they can do some of that. You want to find out what they can do for you, or if you just need a dumpster, whether it be residential or commercial, call 740-253-8389. Tell Carl that Dan and Mike sent you for Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
If you can't give true love to me, I'll understand. Just
it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
Those for you listening on radio, that musical interlude brought to you by visitchillicotheohio.com.
You want to try that sentence again?
Yes, that musical interlude brought to you by the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau.
There you go.
All right, but those of you watching, you saw the commercial there, but it's one of those commercials we've not done a very good job of transferring over to radio.
Right.
So, by the way, speaking of radio, we'll share with you again the replay of last night's contest. We've got details about that coming up in sports. But first, let's take a look at what's making news for us. The Chillicothe Ross County Main Library Annex has been going through some exciting renovations the last few months. The Children's Clothing Bank, operated by the First Presbyterian Church, has moved to the north end of the building, with the easiest access being the 5th Street entrance. They're open Tuesdays, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., providing clothes for children ranging in size from infants all the way up to teens. You can read more about it on our Facebook page here.
Yes, you can. The Waverly High School Music Department will present Big Fish February 22nd through the 24th. Showtimes are 7 p.m. each day and a 2 p.m. matinee on February 24th.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's a QR code right there for those watching where you can get more information.
And Allison Arnold is involved with this production. She has been in many productions. She reached out to me about the potential of bringing some kids on to talk about this. So perhaps we can get them in the next few days here.
Yeah.
Lace up those sneakers and grab your Lucky Charms. It's the annual Leprechaun Chase in Yaktangi Park. At one point in time, they had the Muddy Leprechaun. But
I remember that.
This now is a different situation. They're going through Yaktangi Park. That'll be at 9 a.m. on Saturday, March 9th. You can gather the whole family for a festive run that's more fun than finding a pot of gold, as they say. The annual 2024 Leprechaun Chase fee is $30, which includes a leprechaun-themed shirt, a hat, and bib. And all proceeds from the $30 sign-up fee go to the charity partner, which is the Hope Clinic of Ross County.
Now, is this a situation where instead of following a gator, there's a leprechaun that you have to chase through the course?
That's a good question. I don't know. I've not participated in a running event for a long time.
They haven't asked you to be the leprechaun?
They have not asked me to do that, and I got news for you. The chasing wouldn't go very far. If you were having to chase this guy, it would be an early catch, no question.
Governor Mike DeWine and Ohio Department of Education and Workforce Director Steve Dakin visited Medill Elementary in Lancaster last week to see firsthand the unrelenting success Lancaster City Schools is having in advanced literacy for every student in the elementary and secondary schools. Congratulations to Dr. Sheets and his team of literary coaches, the staff and students dedicated to achieving above-average literacy goals, and the district leadership and board for supporting this rigorous effort to elevate every student. Read more about the visit in the next Lancaster City School District newsletter.
You probably were immunized for a number of things when you went to college.
Yes.
And we all have been immunized at some point in time for things. And for me, back when I was a kid, I remember they would come around and they'd do polio vaccinations, and we also had measles vaccinations. And they distributed these in the school.
Right.
So, and some people still have the mark on their arm from where they got the shot and everything. Well, the Ohio Department of Health Director Bruce Vanderhoff has reported the state's first measles case of 2024. This infected child, not the one here, this is a stock photo, occurred in Montgomery County. Ohio had one measles case last year, 90 in 2022, when an outbreak centered in central Ohio totaled 85 cases. Those cases were the first in the state since 2019. Measles prevalence has been increasing recently internationally, and there have been recent reported cases in the United States as well. If one person has measles, up to 90% of those who come in contact with that person and who are not immune will also become infected. That's why there's concern about this. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that all children get 2 doses of MMR vaccine, starting with the first dose at 12 through 15 months of age, and the second dose 4 through 6 years of age. You can get more details about this on our website, littermedia.com. I want to do a quick little follow-up also, if you don't mind. This from, we were talking about this, the boss and I, just yesterday, and he said it'd be nice to see a follow-up to see if there was an uptick in the Zane Trace sausage breakfast this past Friday, because our story had a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And so we were seeing the numbers on our side. So I reached out to Jennifer Johnston, who's the advisor for FFA at Zane Trace, and she said they had a record crowd and a record amount of donations at this year's sausage breakfast. Nearly 800 guests. I mean, were they going to have to go butcher another hog? I don't know. I wonder if they had concerns about this. And almost $6,000 donated. And she said they had a total of 51 FFA members working and 4 adult volunteers. To give them a little credit, those volunteers are Jan Ramsey, Bob Dunn, Gina Davis, and Katrina Smith. I don't think that's the actress Gina Davis. I don't think.
Probably not.
She spells her name differently. But Jen wanted to say thank you to all those who came out to participate and make it a record year for the Zane Trace FFA sausage and pancake breakfast. Pretty awesome. They were high hog.
There we go.
Coming up in a moment to look at sports, but first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If you've got an issue with the conditions in your home in regards to plumbing or cooling or heating, you want to give them a call. For instance, it's warmer during the day, and you might need that AC a little bit later on. Or it may be really freezing at night. It's been frosty the last couple of mornings. Maybe you're just not warm as you need to be. Find out how they can help you. Speaking of Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, anywhere you see this ad at littermedia.com, if you click on it, it takes you right to AccurateHVAC.com, which is the website for your trusted comfort advisor, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
At Rathkamp Financial, we provide wealth management services that may ease clients' fears of financial loss and help them retire comfortably. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652. Our Litter Media Game of the Week, the first one for this week, took us over to Washington Courthouse last night, and Vinton County taking on the Blue Lions of Washington, a battle of the D2 boys basketball teams. 62-55 the final, and it goes the way of the Washington Blue Lions. There you see that is Garrett Rickman taking a shot. And he, I think, had 16 points, if I'm not mistaken, in that game last night. The win for the Blue Lions should garner them big RPI ratings in this week's polls that are going up, heading into Sunday's release of the tournament brackets in the Southeast District. Now, you can hear what Garrett was our player of the game, the McDonald's player of the game, and, of course, Shannon Bartroff made it over to talk with us, so you can find out what he has to say there on our YouTube channel right now. And also, at 1 o'clock today, it's the Litter Media Game of the Week replay, in which you can hear Mike's never had a beard. Tom Beard and Mike Smith with the play-by-play action, the call that happened last night. You can also, if you want to listen to it on demand, that is available for you right now. If you go to our website, littermedia.com, click on the story, you'll find this image. Click on it, and you'll be able to hear their broadcast as well. All right, Circleville's Lady Tigers clinched no worse than a share of the Mid-State League Buckeye Championship with a 38-21 win last night over Liberty Union. They improved to 12-0 in the league. Bloom Carroll and Tays Valley are 2 games back. They play each other Thursday night. Then Circleville plays Bloom Carroll Saturday for a chance to win the crown outright. Tays Valley would need to win the remaining games and hope for a BC upset of Circleville. Then Tays Valley would have to beat Circleville Monday in that makeup game to share the crown. You see a number of other games that were played around the Scioto Valley yesterday. That includes a win for Lancaster over Chillicothe. Hillsborough picked up a win. Jackson, Groveport Madison over Tays Valley. Tays Valley's not had much difficulty in league play, but where they've fallen off the rails a little bit has been against non-league opponents. And those non-league opponents are members of the OCC.
Yeah, they are.
The conference they're going to. So it'll be an adjustment period for them, certainly. Miami Trace got a win again last night, and you see the rest of those scores. You can find more on our website, littermedia.com. The anticipation for the 2024 football season for Ohio State starts with their annual spring game. That is coming up April 13th. That'll be a noontime kick at Ohio Stadium. The Ohio State men last night in basketball had an 18-point lead on Indiana.
And then what happened?
And they lost. I was following the game during our broadcast last night, and here they were ahead by 18. They were ahead by 15. Then the next update came through, and they were ahead by 13. Time's dwindling down. By the time we wrapped up our broadcast and I walked out to the truck to get ready to come home, they had given up the lead, and they were now trailing by a point. Yep. And that was like 2 minutes left to go in the game. And I'm like, what is going on? Why can't these Buckeyes, they can get a lead, but they can't hang on to it, and they fade. And it's like if that second half was only 12 minutes long, they'd be undefeated.
Yeah.
So So I don't know what the situation is there. It doesn't look very good for the future of Coach Chris Holtmann, but we'll see. We'll see how that works out. That's in not our territory, as far as we don't make those decisions.
Right.
We just follow along with everybody else, and the fandom likes to speculate, and that's part of what's expected to happen is maybe a change at leadership. All right, coming up in a moment, this date in history as we turn the Litter Media Wayback Machine to 1775. Details next.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
Our financial lives have never been more complex, and some decisions just can't wait, which is why our K&B Mobility app gives you instant access to the financial tools you need wherever you are. Get a clear picture of all of your accounts, check your daily transactions, receive account alerts, and much more. So no matter where you are or what you are doing, you can make the best decisions for you and your financial goals. Download our Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Whenever I first applied for the ArchWiz opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
And don't forget, today is Wednesday. It's your opportunity to meet with the manager for open interviews. So if you're looking for work, McDonald's is looking for you to be a part of the McCrew in Greenfield, in Circleville, in Waverly, and the 4 locations in Chillicothe. McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
Delivered with a level of excitement by Aaron Glandon.
That's as excited as I can get.
With a smile. Karen Raybould used to always tell us on radio, smile when you deliver it and it'll sound cheery.
Yeah, that's what my professor told me at school.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And you're better behind the screen? Is that what
you're saying? Exactly.
All right, this date in history, 1775, Benjamin Franklin publishes, and I'm going to be honest with you, this is the first time hearing this, so I'm learning something today.
Mike was telling me about this after the show yesterday. He was like, this is this date in history tomorrow, and he was really excited about it. I think he thinks this is really amusing.
An imaginary speech is what it was titled. In defense of American courage. Franklin's speech was intended to counter any unnamed officer's comments to Parliament that the British need not fear the colonial rebels because, to quote here, Americans are unequal to the people of this country, Britain, in devotion to women and in courage, and worse than all, they're religious. Franklin responded to the 3-pronged critique with his usual wit and acuity, noting that the colonial population has increased while the British population has declined. Franklin concluded that the American men must therefore be more, and I'll quote here, effectually devoted to the fair sex than their British brethren.
So this speech that the British that Franklin is responding to never existed. He made that all up.
Yeah. Fiction writer.
Yeah. He was trying to get the American people just riled up.
Yes, get them furled up and get them going. Put them in a lather, so to speak. I've not done an extensive study on Benjamin Franklin. Much of what we learned in school is, and you learn things differently now than you did when I was in school.
Right.
When I first heard of this Ben Franklin guy, I think I was in the first grade. He's the guy that discovered electricity, flying a kite, and he got struck by lightning and everything else.
Yeah.
Very much involved with creating a lot of different things. Perhaps one of the coolest innovations was the potbelly stove.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but from what I've learned in listening to programs about Benjamin Franklin over the years, he was a how do we say this? I'm not saying a womanizer.
I was about to say, this is kind of ironic because he was not a faithful man.
Yeah, it might be a little too harsh to say womanizer, I guess, maybe.
I think he was, though.
You think?
I think he was.
I've been told that he enjoyed walking around without clothing.
We spent a lot of time in France, so.
True. So he had that European flair to him. Is that what you're getting at?
Yes.
I see. So he seemed to be a free thinker. No question there. But printed a lot of stories to get things out there to make. He was a true patriot in that respect, I guess. But did a lot of traveling.
Yes, he did.
On behalf of these United States.
Yeah.
So, and he's the only president on the $100 bill, according to what you told us earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's another famous president on the $10 bill, Alexander Hamilton.
Yes. There was another, I guess the first face that was ever on, instead of the $1 bill, instead of George Washington.
Right.
It was Samuel Chase. And when I was working in radio up in Columbus, we were giving away, was it $10,000, I think it was. And we had this meeting in our conference room. This was at Sunny 95. Had this meeting in the conference room, and the program director puts on these gloves and hands us to give us an opportunity to feel what it was like, gives us a $10,000 bill, which has Chase on it as the face.
But that's not real anymore, right?
It was. I think there's like maybe two.
Okay.
In the world today, and the Chase Manhattan Bank, I believe, was the one in Columbus that loaned that to us, as the air personalities. Wow, I'm holding $10,000 in my hand. That was something for me. But when we came back here to Chillicothe, my wife was working in a local bank, and she said it was nothing to have $25,000 in their drawer every day.
Yeah.
And it was just paper. And I'm like, that's a lot of paper.
Yeah.
Who couldn't use that kind of paper, huh? But, yeah.
One thing I like about Ben Franklin is he didn't wear the powdered wig like a lot of his peers.
Yeah. And he wanted the wild turkey to be the national bird.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of cool. But until you look at Thanksgiving and it's like them reading the national bird. That's not good.
But we also pardon one every year.
We do. But we don't pardon a wild turkey.
That's true.
And I think there's a number of politicians who probably knock off a bottle or two of wild turkey at some point in time along the way. So, all right, we're straying off topic here. Coming up tomorrow, we have a special edition. At 10 o'clock, we'll be visiting with the Ross County YMCA. This is Heart Month. So they're looking at heart health awareness. So we wanted to have them on today, or tomorrow, actually. And so that'll be at 10 o'clock tomorrow. We'll do the daily show here and then get ready to talk about basketball again. Taze Valley is hosting Hamilton Township Friday. We will be in Asheville. You're making that trip with us.
I am.
And so, and that's the first of our two games we've got planned for this weekend. So we'll tell you more about that in the coming days. So stick close here. Thank you so much for watching, and follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, and follow us on Facebook here. You're already doing that right now. And as well as our YouTube channel. It's free and always at littermedia.com. Any final words?
And find us on Litter Media Radio, and you can listen to that game of the week again today.
That's right. 1 o'clock is the next opportunity, or on demand when you go right to the story at littermedia.com. For Aaron Glandon, I'm Dan Ramey. Thanks for watching Litter Media Live.